All right, so we need the therapy chair for this one. Well, actually, there's people out in the pool, so it's not going to work. I got the patio up. We're remodeling, renovating. Actually, it's the roof, so it's not so much the studio P. Yeah, we need some serious therapy. But so okay, I don't know how far we into this whole Alex Jones thing, but there's a trial going on to the Alex Jones thing. Obviously, what kind of got me, I guess, going with this whole like trial stuff and thinking about this. Okay, so today's what the no, it's not the 8th. That's Monday, the 4th of August, 2022. It's a very important, like significant, like thing. It's not just the month and the day, but the year, the fucking 2022. It's not three yet. I mean, this really going back to like 2010, 2005 even. You could have done this, which they have had Pacer. Let me just talk about. Okay, we got this Johnny Depp thing that was interesting with this girl, Amber Heard, Saw, Felt something, whatever fuck her last name is. And then you got this one. What was it? Nicolas Cage, Cruz down there in Broward County. Those little fucks. These sheriffs, these prosecutors, they fucking blew that case. Totally blew it. I mean, they're basically admitting that they just totally didn't have adequate security in Broward County at the school. Am I getting my books in the background? I'm blind, so it's difficult to see. I gotta get these books on audio. It's no excuse. Okay, so then you got the Nicolas Cage Cruz thing going on, and going back too. Remember that? What's that lady? Jessica Simpson, or something like that. Something. Okay, it was like during that trial. I like what the judge did. I mean, it was crazy what she did. It's like, what the fuck? Literally during the trial, she called that dude on his cell phone. They got him on some island or whatever. It was regarding some kind of estate that was going on, some bullshit, and then of course the Britney Spears stuff. They do some weird stuff during these trials. All this stuff is just fucked up. It's just 100%. The Roe versus Wade, they had a Supreme Court. That was a big deal. And then they're fighting about these GUNS things, like the technicalities of the Constitution, which, by the way, all that shit, like I said, that'll lead into this. It's so fucking outdated. I mean, you're still living up the Constitution, which was done under slavery, and it didn't include women as people. Children still aren't considered people really too much today. They're not considered part of the Constitution. You try to prove to me, go ahead and prove to me that blacks have rights under the Constitution. Still to this fucking day. Which, they made amendments, whomever these fucking white supremacist fucks are. And you got these. I mean, look, I come from the Securities and Exchange Commission, but I understand Securities and Exchange Act quite well, and ERISA and these ERISA, and different types of different codes of mortgage lending and all that stuff. RESPA, all that good fun stuff. And then of course you get into administrative, all that fucked up bullshit. Administrative laws for Securities and Exchange Act and different things that they do. And of course they got the Deshaun Watson stuff going on. They've got, which you see in that, FINRA, that they just do basically mediation. Obviously the mediator came in, what's her name? Sue L. Robinson, it's a good fun thing to have these names. Former federal judge, she really knows her shit, she's going to be the mediator and give us an idea of what should really happen for this egregious, unprecedented. Today's the 4th of August. We heard what happened. Now the NFL says, no, we don't like this person we brought on, given their opinion, so we're going to go ahead and appeal our own. But the whole thing is, okay, listen, I'm like thinking about this stuff. You can go see my cases, okay? Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas, Berea Municipal Court, Cleveland Municipal Court, and then Pacer, okay? It's federal. Northern District of Ohio with FDIC, the United States of America versus Jason Warner. I had 2 criminal cases. You got to see those. Those were fun. Just a one in Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, the Cleveland Municipal Court one, which is me preaching the gospel in 2008. All of my cases, 100%, civil and criminal. All the marriage stuff, everything. Because people say marriage is not a lawsuit. It's a lawsuit, y'all. It's a petition for divorcement, which you're asking the court for, their opinion on things. Whatever. The thing is, all this shit is fucked up. The biggest problem I have is it's 2022. Let's just go back to 2005 even. Like, we're giving people all this time to review their stuff, the attorney's time to review all these documents, scroll through shit. Now, fuck you. This is Jason Warner right here. All these books right here. Well, where are we here? That one right there? Yeah, I type wrote that one, okay? I didn't know all your... The laptop is... I still have the laptop. It's from 2011, y'all. But... And then the next book, the last book there, I'm just thinking about this, Waking Up Dead People. That was also done, all of it, on that same laptop. Which I still have that. I like to brag about that. The middle one, though, I Set You Free, and of course that was 2018, and of course 2020 book, Stranded as a Supermodel by Collusion with Russia. Both of those books were talk text. On a fucking phone, y'all. And then I pressed buttons to get the, what do you call that thing? Manuscript, and then it got submitted to the publishing company. They pressed their own buttons to print things when you buy them, or I just buy my own copies that I paid for right there. They're right there, okay? And then whatever. The point is, the technology, y'all. These fucking courts, they're giving people time to go back to their fucking, these attorneys, go back to their offices and find ways to commit in their minds what they want in terms of what they want to kind of scheme, what the strategy wants to be, talk to amongst themselves, they get to huddle. They're giving them like 14 days, 30 days. They want time, motion for time to answer. Like, what the fuck, y'all? I mean, come on now, really? I'm like the Alex Jones stuff, their motion. You don't need a fucking you don't need, you know what? All this stuff, all this Nicholas Cruz shit, this thing has been going on, paid for by tax dollars, okay? All of his attorney's fees are paid for by... I'm not sure if that's USA or if that's the state of Florida. Like, what the fuck, y'all? All the hours that are put into this stuff. As judge, I'm the judge, I'm the prosecutor, I'm the sheriff, I'm the jury, I'm the bailiff, I'm the whatever those fucks are, okay? And I'm also going to be the court-appointed attorney representing the defendant. There's a word for that. The money is the one thing. That the time, it's just, they're just fucking around, y'all. That they're lying. 100% of these cases, people are lying. In all my cases, I'm telling you, all of them. And I got off way better than we could have expected. These people lie in court like it's no fucking big deal. And these judges are required to believe everything. Not just believe it, but they're required to receive it as fact. Roger Clemens got hit with perjury. My thing is, okay, the Nicholas Cruz shit, this guy comes up and he goes, well, I want the individual victims, like families, to decide how he's going to live or die. Which the death penalty is a bunch of bullshit, too. That's like fucked up, and you can just see how fucked up the system is in Florida. In Ohio, you can't even be on the original case unless you believe in the right to have the state execute somebody. I didn't say the word murder, but all right. So it's the whole Bible thing, let God take care of it. Genesis 9:6, Yeah. But anyway, where I'm going with this is like, how the fuck are these people dragging this stuff out? And Deshaun Watson, I made a point a long time ago in June. I said these attorneys are gonna milk this motherfucker for attorney's fees and just go on and on and on and on. I got a little problem with Deshaun Watson, but I got a little problem too with the fact that he's black. Therefore, these white fucks, what's the guy's name? James Harden? Whatever, he's the attorney for him. I call him James Harden, okay? Hardin. They see black and they see, opportunity and vulnerability. An opportunity to be, a little domineering bitch. Take over the black man. We can get him how we want him, And the same thing with Alex Jones. He's a guy who really wants to have so much fun in the courts. He's got people paying for his attorney's fees, and the whole Trump thing. They had people through the campaign paying for his attorney's fees to fight off this, what was it thing? Fraud. That's a difficult one to prove, y'all. There's fraud all over the place, obviously. Mostly financial, but I mean, it's criminal deception, but it really is difficult to prove. Just got to get paperwork, you know? It's really simple. I'm looking at papers. Voter fraud. It's not voter fraud. It's called tampering. It's called perjury. It's called, I don't know what the crime would be, but voting more than once, or a dead person voting. Got to find out who that person was. That would be just an actual. It's not fraud. It's an actual word for that. Not misrepresentation. It's like improper identification. Like I wouldn't call it identity theft, but it's like improper identity. You're acting like you're somebody else. You're voting for somebody else when they're dead, or that's very common, by the way. Well, Georgia Secretary of State, in the recorded call I posted of Donald Trump and the Secretary of State, he says there were actually 2 dead people who voted, which shouldn't have been voting. I saw a few in the 10th Congressional District of Ohio when I ran for federal office. Like, this stuff just shouldn't be happening ever. I never alleged any kind of voter fraud. I'm sure it happened if it's extremely. Who the fuck would even care? Who's Jason Warner really? Like, why? I mean, not just my case, but you had Bush, and you had Petro, you had Texan Ted Strickland. It's Ohio, you know. Governor Ted Strickland. Like, whatever happened to this guy? Dennis Kucinich, what's up? And then, of course, you got all those, you know, DeWine and Sherrod Brown, and down here you got this little cunt named Ronnie DeSantis. So, as judge and all that stuff, the jury and prosecutor, I would just say, you know what, listen, guys, fuck it. You motherfuckers, just pull out your cell phones right now. This is the evidence we're going to go with, okay? What you have in your cell phone. You can't tell me, like, I mean, I can probably show you sometime. All my books, right in my I can access all my books on my cell phone, the manuscripts. Well, my books are right here, okay? Boom. But I can get those books, the actual manuscripts. I can get you the evidence. You can go into email. You can go right into, you know, whatever storage you're using, whether you're using cloud or you're using, you know, Microsoft stuff, or you're using, you know, like I mentioned, you know, cloud, Apple or Google Docs. People use that. There's all kinds of storage places. You can just pull it up right there, right on the spot. Why can't we just do it that way now? I mean, you got to keep going on the same old bullshit they've been using since the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You see what I'm saying? It's like, why don't we just say, fuck it, you guys. Y'all ain't going anywhere. We're going to close these fucking doors. You came in here. I close this shit. Put down this crowbar. Slam the door shut. All you motherfuckers. I know you're going to commit perjury, so we're going to make sure that we're being honest, okay? You're not going to talk all your shit anymore. There's no more testifying bullshit. We're going to bring out material documents and look at this shit. So I'm thinking about, like, you know, financial crimes. And you can call it fraud, all that shit you want, you know. Materially false and misleading statements. That's a big SEC thing, you know. Materially false. Well, not just that, but also the Johnson & Johnson. What are the odds? Or the same company that did the vaccination. GlaxoSmithKline. These are the guys that the whole opioid crisis. They pleaded guilty just about a year ago. $26 billion settlement for making materially false and misleading statements related to the opioid crisis. Those companies admitting to being the biggest drug traffickers in human history. Bad marketing. They did good marketing in terms of making dollars, you know. So we just need to say, fuck it. All you guys, I know your game, I know your shit. You're going to go back, you're going to do your bullshit, white some stuff out, add some stuff, go to the art room. That's what they called it in the banking industry. And then you're just going to manipulate shit. Add words, take words out of context. It's sick, y'all. It's sick. You can't tell me that you can't pull up a recorded conversation right there on your phone that you've had, and you can just pull it up, go into your whatever storage device, and play it for the court right there. I mean, there's the one thing that the judges are really into, magistrates, all these fucks, is that, and by the way, these are a bunch of fucking alcoholics and drug users. You can't tell me you can't just pull this stuff up right there on your fucking cell phone. It's 2022! I saw what they did in that Jessica Simpson thing. Judge said, fuck it, we're just going to call this person right now for the estate. The judges were looking, they have these dockets that are just so fucking stacked high, and it doesn't look good when they're looking to run for an election, re-election or whatever, you know, and they've got shit just piling up, and they can't keep up with it. And they're dealing, y'all, not just with civil stuff, all this insurance stuff. Then you got all these crimes. We're talking like rape, you know, hate crimes of these, you know, fucking white people chasing after blacks. The drugs. You got financial crimes, which is usually kind of federal, mostly federal. You can say that, whatever. Yeah, that fucking Amber Alert guy's in prison. McAfee, remember I talk about this stuff, y'all. McAfee, what a fucking mess he was. That's your fucking antivirus that y'all believe in. Child weird stuff. And then you got, oh, there's so many others, even like, whatever. These courts are a fucking mess, y'all. They have zero integrity. The more they try, even the Polk County guy I make fun of, Grady Sizemore, Judd, Judd. What a fucking mess he is. And he admits it too. This little fuck right here, what's his name? Mike Chitwood, Chitwood. He admits the big problem they have with these children running around in this county, going crazy in Flagler County, Volusia. I'm in Daytona Beach right now. Is juvenile justice system, JJC, juvenile justice centers. He admitted it, said it, but why doesn't he go criminally prosecute the state for their crimes? They're committing crimes, y'all. They can't even, you know, right now, just today, he was talking to the governor in a public meeting or whatever about how, and there's issues going on with this attorney general, which is a big fuck too. They don't want to enforce the law, but, and that's what, you know, Grady Sizemore Judge would complain about, that there's just prosecutors who are making new laws, legislating from their own office bench, manipulating the laws, and they don't want to press charges. You know, San Francisco is a big mess. Los Angeles, you know, New Orleans, you know, murders. It's just sick. Well, this little fuck right here, Mike. I'm looking that way, which is west. Actually, his office is over I think his office is over at the Island City Center, somewhere over there. But what he's big on, like, not enforcing the law regarding what Bill Clinton says, criminal aliens. He don't care about people being properly documented. So basically, you can just go ahead and commit all kinds of financial crimes, not properly identifying yourself and on paper. Well, fuck the license while you're at it too. Who cares? Don't document. You're undocumented. There's so many crimes. I mean, these people are very vulnerable when they're not properly legal. So I'm going on and on, but you get the point. Why don't we just catch up with the fuck? And I'm not into technology, and I'm running my mouth about how we need technology. What if I just get over here a little bit? Maybe this will be better. I'm trying to get my books in the background, like give some pub to Jason. What's up, myself? All right. Well, anyway, what are we gonna title this thing? This video? Like something about outdated courts. I mean, all this stuff electronically. Why can't? I mean, Pacer's caught up big time. Pacer's federal.